This is Ether Dynamics with a follow-up video to the recent mod release in Skyrim The Elder Scrolls V. This video is the first of 3 supplemental releases. Part 1 will cover details on new weapons, Part 2 will focus on new spells and equipment, and the third will cover comment responses and discussion. And now, a few quick notes before we begin. Thank you for all the feedback! I wanted to give a few weeks to get a broad swath of responses. Much appreciated. At the time of launch, this mod was done for technical demonstration purposes, not yet for a fully immersive experience. I wanted to publish a technical expose first, so I can get feedback and tweak things before working on the polished final product. A few changes have been made in the new version. The invasion must now be triggered by a conversation inside Markarth's SilverBlood Inn. This will allow you to experiment with the new weapons, spells, and equipment without immediately having to fight. The invaders will now only attack guards in the main city, leaving merchants and other NPCs to do their normal activities. Once inside the keep, the invaders will attack just about anyone associated with Markarth. Keep in mind that Skyrim protects almost every quest essential actor, so you shouldn't have to worry about quests becoming unavailable. These new enemies will just knock out essential NPCs for a day. After defeating the invaders, just return to the area 24 hours later and essential NPCs should be back to normal. Should the need arise, you can always use console commands to resurrect non-protected NPCs with no problems. Please note that due to the inclusion of the new temporary quest trigger, you'll need to verify this file appears in the following directory. As for balance, I want to make sure these opponents aren't too weak or too strong for mid to high range players. I know that Skyrim has a few builds that basically break the game and one-shot everything. Though I can't code around every overpowered build, I'll keep exploring options to limit those kinds of exploits. Suggestions welcome. Similarly, a huge thanks to the folks that posted immersion ideas, such as NPCs verbally communicating orders and status. I'm happy to integrate these into the final quest, which is coming together now. More details on this in the following moves. So, please feel free to play with the new enemies, weapons, spells, and equipment. I'm very eager to hear what you'd like to see in the final version, including immersive and technical changes. And now, weapon details. As several folks mentioned, Dark Souls has one of the most balanced equipment systems out there. Subtle differences in weight, poise, stun, damage, and a variety of other attributes allow players to experiment with an incredibly broad spectrum of combat styles. These same players correctly noted that, once you acquire the ability to use a new set of armored weapons in Skyrim, there is absolutely no reason to ever go back. While that rewards progression, it also makes everything converge to the same final set of equipment. So, to shake things up a bit, I use the principle from Dark Souls that different weapon builds should offer a broader set of options to the player. To get your hands on this new equipment, just run into the SilverBlood Inn, where you'll find an unfortunate victim loaded down with loot. I wanted to offer players both light and heavy weapons, each with their own tweaks. First, we'll start out with the Swift Wind Dagger. This has been balanced against the normal dagger by dramatically increasing the attack rate, but decreasing damage to end up at just about the same DPS. The advantage of this faster swing speed is it allows for multiple deliveries of enchantments or other magic effects versus a normal dagger, since enchantments are cast on a per-hit basis. The other perk is it allows the wielder to keep immense pressure on the target, incessantly wearing away their health. The 15% chance to cause mild, prolonged bleeding damage is also a deterrent for enemies that give no thought to defense. The disadvantage is the damage from the dagger itself is so weak that basic armor and shields may be enough to almost completely negate it. The other drawback is that enchanted Swiftwind daggers will burn through soul gems significantly faster than normal weapons. So, without a steady supply on hand, you may find yourself out of juice rather quickly. Next is the Glass Rapier. Like the Swiftwind dagger, the Rapier trades off hitting power for speed. In addition to the increased damage from enchantments, the Rapier has a 15% chance to disarm opponents when executing a blocking bash. To gain the disarming benefits of the Rapier, the character has to use nothing in their offhand. Disarming may give them an advantage against close-range, weapon-wielding foes, but it does nothing against mages or monsters, and robs the character of a shield against archers or a ward against spells. Similarly, the high attack rate but low damage is great against lightly armored foes, but bad against creatures with tough hides or well-armored soldiers. This is definitely a weapon you want to use on mages, hagravens, or other soft targets. It also diminishes the player's offensive capabilities for spell use, such as runes, summons, healing, or paralysis. This gives the player an optional trade-off for high risk, high reward. The heavy weapons have been altered in the opposite way. They sacrifice speed for more hitting power. This can reward a player with a finesse to time a well-placed hit, but also leaves them vulnerable to shield bashes, disarms, spells, and similar counterattacks. The first of these is the Dwarven Grand Maul. Despite its slow swing and reduced frequency to deliver enchantment damage, the Maul is a weapon of immense hitting power. In addition to the usual armor-ignoring perks available to all Warhammer users, the Maul has a 30% chance of sending your target flying. This can be a great way to break through an enemy line or take advantage of some perilous terrain. And lastly, this weapon type also keeps in line with Elder Scrolls lore. Speaking of lore, the Orcish Gran Cleaver was made to punish weaklings that cower behind shields. Similar to the Maul, each power attack has a 30% chance to knock away a target's shield. This is especially effective against opponents that use shield charge or other potent blocking perks. Lastly, the Steel Claymore has a 30% chance to cripple the target of a power attack, forcing them to stumble whenever they use stamina for the next 15 seconds. This includes sprinting, power attacking, bashing, and any other activity that consumes stamina. This can completely change the landscape of combat, making targets reconsider options for both offense and defense. Being overly aggressive in either case can lead to a stagger and a wide open opportunity for retribution. Stay tuned for the next video, which will showcase a variety of spells that allow the player to augment themselves, act as a controller, or create new synergies of sword and sorcery. This movie will also demonstrate unique, one-shot magic items that can turn the tide of battle even against overwhelming odds. Once again, this has been a presentation by Ether Dynamics. I appreciate the community feedback and look forward to further discussions. Thank you for watching.